Podcast, a platform created to entertain, educate, and evolve the modern-day deer hunter. All right, there we go. That one? That one's working there? Yeah, that one. I swear, it's like pulling teeth around here to get things to just work. Just do your job. Podcast recording equipment. It's literally that simple. What's up, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of the Deer Hunter Podcast. Cutting this intro in on a Thursday evening. Podcast will hopefully be coming to you as you're staring your weekend directly in the face. It'll be Friday the 19th of March when this podcast releases, and this is one of my more favorite-ist English? Is that even English? Most favoritist? This, I had more fun. How ridiculous. I had more fun recording this podcast than I have in recent memory of doing any of these, because this podcast encapsulates everything that I always wanted out of our podcast platform, which is essentially to recreate the conversations that good friends have, that I've known to have with good friends for as long as I can remember at around a campfire at deer camp. So this conversation very much replicates what I set out to do when we started this podcast. I'm joined this week by my good friend, Jordan Susowitz. Jordan Susowitz is a producer, a outdoor film maker, photographer, videographer, and by all definitions, a true professional in the space for creating hunting content. Also joined by Mitch Day, our good buddy Mitch. Mitch, my neighbor, works for Prime Archery. He sat in. He kind of got called in here last minute because Nick Bomarito came down with the vid. So we had like a 7 o'clock start time. We recorded this last Friday. And about 5:30, I got a text from Bomarito. Hey, I got a fever. Not feeling great. Going to stay home. Tested positive for the vid. So Mitch jumped in last minute. Worked out awesome. Drew, my brother, Drew Vistison, joined us as well, and the three of us put a pretty serious hurting on a bottle of bourbon and a pile full of beers, and I should listen back to this entire thing and proof it before I send this out to the general public, but that's never really been our MO, so I'm just going to take a little bit of a risk and go and err on the side that you guys are going to enjoy this real content for the unedited, unfiltered stuff that it is. But, you have been warned. Got small children in proximity to things that they might hear come over the speaker of your listening device. I might recommend against that. The courts might also. So do yourself a favor. And this is an adult conversation. I woke up Saturday actually feeling good because I haven't been able to do anything like this in a long time. And it's just a product of where I am in my life, and as well as the guys that I surround myself with. You'll hear on this podcast, we're talking about, me and Jordan hadn't been able to sit down together and have a face-to-face conversation in 2 years. And he's one of my best friends. It's absolutely ridiculous. We only live 4 hours apart. It's not like we live across the country, but 2 years is what it had been. So as you can imagine, we had some catching up to do. We did it over some bourbon and some beers, and we had an absolute blast. and I'm glad we recorded it, and we have the opportunity to share it with you guys. Huge thank you to all the new Patreon members that I see jumping on there to throw us some support so that we can produce this podcast and get it out to you guys every week. So huge thank you to the Patreons. Huge thank you to anybody that's taken the time. If you got a minute, go to wherever you listen to your podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, however you're going about listening to this, and leave a review and a written comment. I was recently told that written comments are one of the things that will really actually help boost you up in the rankings, and when that happens, just organically more people see your show. So if I could ask any favors of anybody listening that enjoys the content, just go on there and throw us a digital bone, one might say, if you would, and leave us a written review, or jump on our Patreon page and chip in a couple bucks and help support this thing so we can keep doing this for a very long time, keep growing our community, and keep enjoying the outdoor space as we all should. With that said, I'm going to let this thing rip. Everybody have a kick-ass weekend, and we'll catch you back here next week on the Deer Hunter Podcast. See ya!
Crazy how life gets you. It's definitely up and down.
The pace of the modern life it's weird.
Yeah. You know what I found out today? This is how disconnected I am from the world, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter is 13 and in junior high in 7th grade playing basketball and so on and so forth.
God rest your soul, man.
And she goes, and my wife knows all about this because my wife works in the field with children and stuff like that. She goes, Dad, all the kids in school have TikTok. I was like, what?
Why?
Like, don't you have to be like, isn't that age restricted? And
It
she
should be.
And
How old?
13. And she goes, oh yeah, some of the groups of girls or whatever, they'll be dancing in the corner and recording TikToks. I'm thinking, this is our society to these days. 13 years old and they're doing this.
Yeah.
I was like, and obviously we're pretty conservative, and she does not have TikTok. She's probably known as a kid.
You don't have to say you're
the dad that's
conservative. You just say you got a brain.
Yeah. Well,
Heaven forbid you don't want your daughter dancing online for some creep.
Right. It's just, it blew my mind.
Joe Biden's got TikTok. I guarantee you, dude. He's on there right now.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I like big tech. Not canceling this one. I like this TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know how to download an app on a smartphone, but I figured this one out.
Yeah. But it was just kind of, I don't know, maybe I don't pay attention enough to that, but it just was kind of mind-blowing this morning when they said that. I was like, golly, kids your age have TikTok.
Oh, yeah. That's not that surprising.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
maybe I'm in the woods.
As soon as you hand a kid a smartphone, they're going to download
I
whatever.
feel like, I didn't have a cell phone until I graduated high school.
Yeah.
I remember being out of high school.
I remember paying for my phone. I never had one that I didn't have to pay for.
Yeah.
It was like...
That's the truth.
So you had to have a job to
Mitch
get a
is a little
phone.
younger.
Yeah.
When did you get?
well, let's see. I'm 37.
I'm 34.
35.
I'm 24.
Right.
So I think my
Mitch
first
got
one-
TikTok for sure.
No, I don't.
Mitch talk.
I stick strictly to Instagram. They normally put all that stuff in Instagram. So.
Yes, true.
But-
And Grinder or what's
No, not Grindr. No, I'm staying
Tinder.
away from that.
You got a Tinder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you ever listen to that Prime podcast we did on the Film the Hunt?
I think I did.
Because at the end of it, I was like, make sure you check out Prime on Instagram, Tinder. And everyone just kind of paused, like, oh, he just said that. And just broke out laughing.
Who was on there?
I would swipe
Jason
right on 'em.
and Nick, when the Nexus first come out, we did that review.
Gotcha. Yep.
And at the end of it, it's like, oh yeah, make sure you check out, Prime on, primearchery.com, Instagram, and TikTok, or not Tinder. And everyone's just like, did he just say that?
Slipped that right in.
Let's sell some bows on Tinder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I could see this marketing strategy there.
Yeah. 34 inches. Axle.
Damn.
39 inches.
Oh,
the black
man.
9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he went there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Black 9.
But what's his brace height?
Save.
Yeah.
He's not much for IBO, but he's got a pretty forgiving shelf.
Very comfortable grip.
Never gets cold.
Yeah. Brace height.
Hell of a riser on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Brace height is very forgiving. That was off the rails
Yeah,
pretty
oh,
quickly. I figured, that's good.
Yeah. We're waiting for turkey season.
You guys started with the political stuff. I've been avoiding it. I've been very mature the last 4 weeks, and not going down that rabbit hole. But it's too easy.
I mean, we're not really. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's
not.
all-
It's
yeah.
not having to try to be too creative.
Yeah.
Right.
See, like this weird shit going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's why I said when we sat down to do this, I was like, oh man, I'm just excited to just frickin' drink that bottle of whiskey with you guys. I poured those, and you guys were like, that's a lot of whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've just been drinking here alone by myself for a year or so. I don't even know what a lot of whiskey is anymore, you know? You can buy. That's one thing, you know, now that the restaurant's open back up, I took my wife to dinner, and I was like, Jesus Christ, these people are raking, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, for what it costs for us to each get, you know, a drink. I was like, I could buy a nice bottle of bourbon for that and have like 13 drinks, you know?
Yeah.
Can't blame them though, man. They got fucked so hard.
Oh, yeah.
I feel so bad for anybody in the restaurant.
I've been going and getting takeout and giving 20% tip all
Yeah.
through
Oh,
this whole
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's crazy.
it was pretty ridiculous. But I did realize, I was like, yeah, if you're just home and making your own drinks and being your own bartender, you can buy some nicer stuff and pour it a little taller and
Yeah.
take a little extra time, make yourself a nice fine cocktail, you know?
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
half a dozen nice little bottles sitting at home now, you know, I'll half drink, but
Yeah.
you got to change things up every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
for
the
sure.
thing.
Yeah. Well, it's for me, it was crazy as, you know, for last year when I was traveling all over the U.S. filming hunts, a lot of the western states, COVID never existed.
Mm-hmm.
Wyoming in particular. Tom and I, we walk into a steak and chop house. And, you know, of course, we're being courtesy. We got our mask around, you know, our, whatever you call them, those buff, you know, it's not an actual mask. So we got it above our nose and we walk in. And it's just full of cowboys and, you know, cowgirls. It's just, and everyone just kind of turned and looked at Tom and I. We're like, oh, yeah, we are the out-of-towners. So we're just like kind of like slowly pulled our masks down.
I totally.
Went and found the corner and just hit it because it was like, oh, yeah, we are those people.
There's been places around here. There's a few places around here where it's been like that too.
Yeah.
You find your little pockets of people where it's like, my gym has been that way, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, they basically have a thing telling you when you're coming in there. It's like, there's going to be a bunch of people in here not wearing masks. If you don't like it, you should go not
You
come
can
in
wear
here.
a mask. It says you can wear a mask.
It says
but
you can wear one.
Yeah.
Or go fuck off a little bit somewhere else.
I go every morning and there will be 50 people in there and there's one person with a mask on.
Is
which,
that
I mean,
right?
if that's what they want to wear.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
care.
That's
It's
the
the
thing.
way
I-
it should be.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the way it should be.
Yep.
The biggest scam ever is thinking that you're responsible for my health.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just not how it works, man.
Yeah.
You're responsible for your health, and I'm responsible for my health.
I feel like you're coming after my health with all the whiskey in this cup right now.
How is it?
It's good.
Just saying. You're kind of responsible for my health right now.
Yeah. All right. There's always
There's a give and take.
There's always, you know.
He's looking after you. You're the co-host.
Right, no, I know.
That's what I was thinking. I thought we'd just kind of dial this thing up and in fast.
As co-host, I pour the second round. So
Well, luckily, we pretty much poured the whole bottle on the first round, so somebody will have to take a Uber
Yeah.
and make a trip to the party store and get
Yeah.
another one. I might have one or two more on the side. Who knows?
Iowa Deer Classic went on last weekend.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
it. It looked like a
And-
bunch of Freedom went on too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I know we saw a bunch of pictures, and that was the first thing one of the guys in the office was like, I don't see a single mask in here.
I
No.
didn't
Not
either. I
one.
saw a big auditorium full of people with Jared Scheffler giving a what do you call it? Some type of hunting tutorial.
Oh, like a seminar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Jared was giving a seminar. There's a bunch of people in that auditorium.
Great.
And not anybody. And I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, there is sanity that we can seek out.
Yeah. Yeah. The deer and turkey shows are being booked right now for
Yep.
full. The MLB All-Star Games is going to sell out a full house.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just weird how,
Well, you'd have to not follow the science
well,
to think that we shouldn't be getting back to some semblance of a normal life.
yeah.
There's never not been disease.
Mhm.
There never won't be disease.
Right.
There won't ever be not having inherent risks to living life.
Right.
That's not what life is about, is like going through life. Like, there's a 0.002% chance that you could die today. So what? Just stay inside all the time and don't go anywhere and do anything?
Dude,
Right.
what the hell did you do to that phone?
I was thinking the same thing.
When you pulled that thing out,
Oh,
it looks like
really?
it went through a rock tumbler.
It looks like a dog chewed the shit out of it.
That just goes to prove iPhones are tough as shit because I am missing about half of my bag end of the phone.
That's not a case. That's the phone.
That's the phone. That's no case. That's like exposed like electronics in the back, and she still works like a charm. But yeah, before I left in September for elk camp, golf course I play down in Ohio, it's got a steep par 5, and they got like little road bumps in it. So as you to slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't take the slow down into precaution. I was still going pretty
Okay.
good and hit that, and it bounced out of the cup holder out onto the cement and smashed her pretty good.
Got ran over like 6 times? I'm
No,
assuming?
she just skipped down the pavement
Jeez.
for a ways.
Yeah, it
and-
looks like somebody drug it behind a truck.
yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, she still holds strong.
Looks like one of the guys from at the end of Brokeback Mountain where they find out they're gay and tie him up behind a truck and drag him down the road for 3 miles. I imagine that's
You just spoiled the movie for me now. I never made it that far.
No, she
I
still
think
holds
if I
strong.
remember that right, that's what happens.
I honestly
I've never seen the movie.
never
Neither have
watched
I.
it.
Yeah.
Don't have to now.
yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those Ohio golf courses. I played one. And you can remember what happened.
Oh yeah, I can remember what happened. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Not much
Yeah.
for golf.
the
I drank.
Jurassic Classic.
I just drink.
Yeah.
Drink and putt. That's it.
Story of my life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I picked up a 6-pack. I'm like, this'll be good. We were playing what? We didn't even play full. We played full 18.
Yeah, we did.
And I was like, this'll last me. I made the turn at 9. I'm like, well, I'm empty. Let's go grab another one.
And they were 16 ounces.
Oh, they were the tall boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was hot that day.
Oh, yeah.
It was. They were going down smooth.
Yeah.
And then I found out.
Forget that.
Yeah, golf carts. The brakes are not as touchy as they should be, or maybe a little too touchy. Came around a corner and I spilled about half that golf cart out all over the path.
Oh yeah, it was classic.
Oh, it was not. I did not
Was
drive
there-
home that day.
No.
I was just
No.
going to ask if there was possibly some drinking involved.
Well, I had a few pops.
Yeah. Just
Course pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the. So you ever heard of the Jurassic Classic?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So it's the world's largest 50-50 event, and they raise a bunch of money because they hold a education center there in Ohio.
Education or re-education? Because we got those coming our way.
I'm gonna go education.
education.
Education. But it's about like wildlife, and they've done a great job in building these facilities to teach kids all about deer and all types of different wildlife, camping, in the outdoors. So they host this event, the Jurassic Classic, to raise funds for these kids because then the schools don't have to pay for busing. They don't have to pay for, Jurassic Classic pays for all these kids to come to the facility. So,
All right.
and It's the world's largest 50-50. It's like, I think Saturday night's like $80,000,
Really?
$100,000.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
They
Yeah.
canceled last year.
Yes.
The last one they had, I want to say, was like 124,000.
Yeah.
And that's half the pot.
Yeah, for
It's-
one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle. It's mid-August. It's 90 degrees.
Oh,
and these
yeah.
people are going hard. It's faster horses for hunters, basically.
Yeah. I mean, they give away millions of dollars in prizes.
Where is this?
In Cambridge, Ohio.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, they give away Corvettes, trucks, side-by-sides, gun cases, guns. I mean, it's crazy the amount of stuff they give away.
Who puts it all together?
So Mark Meeker is the executive director at the Jurassic Classic. And we just heard yesterday, I was talking to Tom, because they're going to host an in-person event again. Last year they canceled it. They did it all virtual. But this year they are, don't quote me on this, 90% sure they're going to host an in-person event again as long as shit doesn't hit the fan again. But their sales have skyrocketed tremendously when people found out it's going to be an in-person event again, because not only is it fun and you get to see a bunch of cool shit, but you get a chance to win a bunch of money, and they got old 90s country bands that come to this event.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then Friday night they got a vendor concert. So all the vendors come to this
So
concert.
it's a big freedom festival.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
It's
Trump flags for days.
it's a really cool event.
yeah,
It's a blast.
People in there are into freedom.
yeah,
Oh.
and just having a good time. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's cool when you're around someone that wins something or something. You know, it's for instance, when we were at the Become One booth, we give away a prime bow, and so 2 years ago, Ryan is
Ukulele.
super talented in playing instruments, and he
Oh,
had
really?
the ukulele, and
Yep.
You'll
find
that out at ukulele?
he is so witty in what he can come up with, and singing songs, and just he is really, really good.
Yeah.
So he was there during the
So he's
giveaway.
like a Jurassic Classic DJ.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a spectacle.
Oh,
You'll have people walking by, and he'll just pick you out of a crowd and walk up and just start singing about you.
Oh, yeah.
Like one guy at work, he called him the beach ball smuggler. Got a big old belly on him, and he made up a song about the beach ball smuggler. It was like a 2-minute song on the ukulele, and the guy finally turns around and goes, "Are you talking about me?" We're like, "Yeah." He's been going on about 2 minutes, man.
Yeah,
Where
Ryan
have you been?
super talented.
Yeah.
And so when we were giving away one,
I had no idea he was a musician in any capacity. And I would not have guessed.
he's so good. So good.
Yeah.
Like, mind-blowing good. But he was there playing the ukulele when we were giving away the prime bow. And you have to be present to win. And this guy was like front row. And I wish I could remember his name.
Mark Figger.
Yes.
I remember.
Like, and then we can swear on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So Ryan's playing the ukulele, he's just singing along, and like Tom pulls the name, Mark, and the guy's like, Mark fucking Flager.
Yeah.
And then like Ryan repeats it and just continues to go on. Like, so it's just so much fun. Like, it is insanely amount of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We were 5 or 6 booths down for them, and we can hear the guy yell that. Me and Casey look at each other. We're like, well, I guess Mark won.
It was cool.
God, the layers of the onion that are Ryan Silver, I just don't even
They
know.
don't stop.
Like his talent is unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. You gotta have him. Yeah, it's crazy how good he is.
When you guys go to the Total Archery Challenge, you'll get a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
He'll just pick people out of the crowd and just start singing about him. A
Yeah.
lot of times people stop and they'll be like, "Are you talking about me?"
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, right here, come here."
Yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah.
He's super talented.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he played in a band for a while.
I do remember him
Yeah.
telling, he talked about it on the podcast. Now that you say that,
Yeah.
I just, I don't know why I'm that surprised. I mean, obviously I know he's an artist and,
Right.
has an eye for art. But, yeah, I didn't know that about him as far as his music abilities
Yeah,
and
he's
whatnot. That's funny.
really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Jurassic Classic this year. Get your 50/50 ticket.
When is that?
August? I
Okay.
think the first weekend in August.
Yep.
It's always in Ohio?
Yep.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a really nice facility there. They have on-site camping.
Yeah.
So it's like the last night of the festival. They did all the concerts and stuff, and everything wraps up, raffles done, and a bunch of people come by and they're like, "You got to see this." We're like, "What is it?" They're like, "Just come with us." It was a foam slip and slide, and there were just hundreds of people doing it, and so we're like, "Oh, we're checking this out." And we made about halfway over there, and there's the mob of people. Someone broke their leg. Turn around. Go back. They shut it down. They shut it down. We're like, oh, my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a great time.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to Total Archery Challenge. I didn't know how much fun you guys are having at all this.
Oh
all
yeah.
these
Tech
hunting.
events. Yeah.
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 They're a lot
sweet.
of fun.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm
That
going
one, it's in June, right?
Yeah. June 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
11th through the 13th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna go?
I'm going.
I'm going.
I don't
I
know
mean-
yet. I haven't even looked at a calendar. I gotta
Drew,
look.
you're the co-host. You gotta go.
You know what kind of information I get. I'll look right now. I might be able to swing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's. Yeah.
they're always a lot of fun. I mean, whenever you get a group of, I mean, you get your casual archers there as well as your guys that are super intense and they're going out west and using that to train for their
Yeah.
western hunts.
Yeah.
So you get a really good mix of just passionate hunters.
Mhm.
Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation does a lot with it. They
Yeah.
always have an event at pretty much every single one, whether it's in Tennessee or Montana. Yeah, they're always a ton of fun. It's just a like-minded crowd. That's one of the bigger things is the feeling of community.
I'm looking forward to it for sure.
It's a blast.
So I imagine there's vendors set up and
Yep, you've got vendor village, so you'll have the area where you'll check in and get your lift tickets, and you can hang out. There's normally a dozen to 24 booths, and it grows every year. It seems like from the first year to, well, last year, it's almost doubled in size.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll get everything from, clothes to local, hunting and fishing stores and archery shops, and everybody migrates up to, TAC for that weekend. It's a blast.
what's your plan as far as shooting? I mean, so I'm going for my first time this year, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of different there's a couple different courses, times you can shoot, this and that. So I was talking to you about like, hey, what are your plans? I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do because I want to shoot, but at the same point in time I'm going there, I just kind of want to socialize with everybody and hang out.
Yeah.
So I don't want to I don't know how long it takes to shoot this or that. Like what should I be?
Couple hours.
Normally a course is a couple hours. It's 25 targets, and some of them are there's some hikes in there. Like Michigan's not bad. It's enjoyable, but it's a lot of sand. So you're like, oh, this hill isn't bad, and then you get halfway up it, and it's sand the whole way, and you're like, this sucks. But I would say shoot the courses in the morning if you can, just so you get a little bit of cold weather, and then you can just hang out for the day in Vendor Village, and you can still go shoot the course. They have Boyne Mountain, the one in Michigan. They have restaurants and ice cream places and everything to go hang out. So they're super fun.
Right on. So there's a bunch of people just kind of hanging out casually doing their thing, and then there's different times scheduled throughout the day for groups,
they set up knock times. So like when you register, they'll give you can register and sign up for a certain knock time. So they get you your lift ticket, you go up, you take the ski lift up the mountain and hike your way back down, and they'll take knock time starting I think normally at 8 o'clock, and they'll run those all the way till 4 or 5 o'clock.
Like that,
It's Friday and Saturday.
and it's packed.
Oh yeah.
It's cool, man. It's way cool because you got groups from all over. I mean, yeah, it's badass.
How's the Michigan one in comparison to where they
Big
have them all
Sky
over the
or-
country?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have them everywhere. The Michigan one is one of the most laid back ones. You don't have a ton of people that are, you're gonna have your people that are there training for their western hunts, but you don't have the people that are gonna be running, and it's not
Running?
no one. Yeah, you'll have some people that are gonna out west, they're training. They're training hard for that stuff, so they'll use that and they'll hike hard up these hills. Like they're shooting and moving.
Huh.
So I mean, you'll get some people that are a little bit more laid back.
Mountain Ops flag flying out of their pack and shit, or wilderness athlete. Wilderness athlete, Mountain Ops are neck and neck.
Oh yeah,
Going to 13th shot. Yeah,
it's always a good time. I know, like a lot of times when we'll go shoot in a group, we'll always be all right. Whoever has the worst shot on the next target, they have to go pull the arrows. And after
That
like the
seems like
sixth one,
decent gentleman's agreement, though.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, last time we shot all PA, me and Casey did it, and we were like racing up the hill for the first one, and then on the way back we're like, nope, nope, we're done. So I mean, it's always a lot of fun. It's always challenging terrain. The shots are not easy. Be ready to lose some arrows, because you'll have people that show up for the first time. They're like, yeah, I brought 8 arrows, and then they come down after like an hour and they're like, I'm all done. I lost all 8 of them. So that's the one thing I learned the first time shooting it is
2 dozen arrows, or what do you do?
I always am prepared to shoot out to at least 100, if not further, and then I bring about a dozen arrows and be ready to go home with about half of them.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, because even if you hit the target, there's no guarantee that arrow's going to come out unscathed. There's a lot of targets you'll get inserts busted off in them, so you'll hit one and
Because
Well,
a ton of people are just shooting it, huh?
Well, even outserts, man.
Yeah,
Fuck,
you'll have
getting them
outserts that
things
pull out.
Yeah,
and-
glue in good.
Yep.
Know.
Yeah.
Not
I
everybody's
mean-
got the luxury of the day 6 integrated thing.
Right. Yeah, you'll see a lot of guys that'll go up and shoot that, and they plan on losing, a dozen arrows, so they'll buy, a cheaper dozen and just fling arrows. And sometimes the components aren't always the greatest.
I don't know how many are a lot of companies still using straight up outserts, or is everybody using a footing at this point?
A lot of them are going. They at least have some sort of center pin or some sort of insert built around that outsert. I don't know really very many that are still going just a straight up outsert sleeve.
Because they were doing that for a while.
Yeah.
I hated making those arrows up.
Oh.
Man. Because no matter what you did, they always popped out.
Yeah. Well, I hated it. Working at a shop, there was several of them where the outsert would barely fit on, so you had every arrow. You had to just sand a little bit off and then check the fit, spin it, glue it. And it's like, all right, well, it took me a minute and a half to build one. This guy asked for 2 dozen.
I remember,
There
I
goes
was
the next
making
hour.
them up for Ryan because I bought the arrow saw and everything, and I had to number the outserts to the shafts,
one-
and then because you didn't want to mix the epoxy and then have to mess with it, so you laid them all out and then got the epoxy mixed up and made sure. Oh no, I just put 3 on 4. I'm fucked. It was a pain in the ass, and then they'd still pull out.
Those were the Black Eagle components and stuff. I think you guys were.
Yeah, but I mean that was like 3 or 4 years ago. I haven't shot their stuff in a while, but
I don't know what
they've changed. Most companies have. I don't think off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody that's still running a straight up just outsert on their arrows anymore.
That turned me off of the micro diameter arrows forever.
Me too.
It's like,
yeah,
these are more expensive and they suck compared to just the straight up old.
What were the arrows that you cut and set up when you were over here a couple weeks ago now?
Victory VAPs. They're very similar system to the kind of like the Day 6. They kind of use a center pin system with an outsert that goes over the end of the shaft to keep everything solid. I've shot a couple weeks now. I did break one. I drove it right into the shoulder of a moose target and hit the rebar, pulled it out, and I was like, well, there goes a $20 arrow.
Oh.
But yeah, so I mean, it's stock components. A lot of times you have it hit it square. Like the field point wasn't pointed, it was flat. So I mean, anytime you have that hard of an impact on just rebar, you're gonna get something's gonna give, and it's normally not the rebar.
What bow do you have set up right now?
I've got the Nexus 4. I'm shooting it right around 70 pounds. So it's driving tax. It shoots better than I do. So
What's your draw? Are you 20?
27 and a half,
Uh-huh.
27 and 3/4 measured. So it's shooting a 440 grain arrow right around 275, 280.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a good
Perfect.
setup.
I'll take
Just
it.
blow right through a shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little light. I know. When I went down to Texas, I was shooting like a 400 grain arrow, and every time I drew back, I'm like, just if I hit this shoulder, it's not gonna be good. So after that, I'm like, yeah, I need to bump some stuff up, and
Yeah.
I just ordered some new outserts for them. So I'm gonna bump up and try to get closer to 450 to 475. Just give me a little bit of extra weight,
Right
just a
on.
little bit extra confidence.
Nice.
Yeah.
You shooting 125 grain broadheads already?
I'm not right now, just because I'm too lazy to go buy more field points. I've just got I bought.
It is a bitch anytime you change
Yeah,
it.
I
Even
know.
Oh, yeah,
like
no.
them-
Then you got to keep them all organized.
it's a day
yeah.
of resighting the bow in and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sight tapes and all that shit. That's why
Yeah.
I like that Trophy Ridge sight, just because there's no sight tape. You
Right.
know, there's a little Allen wrench you turn, and there's little fiber optic marks for your yardage, and you can
Mhm.
adjust that. So
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good setup.
Yeah.
I don't know how many bows I had with just electrical tape, white electrical tape, and then I would mark it with a
Mark 'em.
Sharpie.
Yeah, it's
Really?
React Trio. It's a
Yeah.
good site, especially for the money. There's a lot going on. I was a little concerned about how it would hold up.
I've had stuff rattle loose on me on it, but
That's kind of, I've found that to be the case with just about
Yeah.
every
right.
site.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I've had sites from Black Gold, HHA, Excel, like all of them, where you bow shoots and you're like, kind of
Well,
look over and you're like,
the new
something's
bows,
loose. Check that.
new bows shoot so damn fast that energy. There's
Oh,
gonna
it's
be a
gotta go
little that
somewhere.
goes somewhere, So
Yeah.
that sight's eating a lot.
Mm-hmm.
New bows. Don't be offended. You're as good as them.
She's a beaut.
She is a beaut.
She's
Yeah.
older than me.
Well, it was funny. I was at the shop today,
Do you know where that came from?
West Branch, Michigan.
That came from the Mayo swapping meet on Sunday.
Really?
The
Yeah,
flea market
the flea
north
market.
of town there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That come from the Mayo flea market.
Yep. Yep.
I painted it. I
lot of
pulled it
history.
apart and painted it. But I
Yeah.
mean, she's a killer.
Yep.
That flea market's a hot spot, man. I was up there a couple months ago. I ended up buying half a dozen traps for $10.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
Seasoned and ready?
I never plan on trapping, but I was like, hey, $10. I'll hang them in the shed, and maybe one day I'll get bug up my ass.
That's awesome.
I bought Van Halen's Greatest Hits on cassette for $1 and has never come out of my truck.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We visit that flea market once every 3 months or so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're telling me your truck has a cassette player?
That was my previous truck.
Oh, okay, all right.
I did not. I took it out when I sold the truck. But yeah, my last truck did have a cassette player.
Yeah.
And I was really bummed to see it go. But luckily, my boat now has a cassette player because it's from '83.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's got a state-of-the-art cassette player with the equalizer. And, yeah, it's like a 7-channel equalizer on this cassette player. No joke.
Really?
Yeah, I got Van Halen's Greatest Hits in there. Came
If that's
from-
not proof to the listening crowd that the Deer Hunter podcast hasn't sold out the sponsorship, I don't know what is.
Everybody likes Van Halen, right?
Right, Van Halen in your '83 boat with the cassette player,
Not Van Hagar. Van Halen.
Oh, that's so
Kids
good.
seem to like
Yeah.
Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of, yeah. My kids like old classic rock.
Yeah.
It was refreshing when Jamie, my oldest, said, she goes, "Oh, yeah, Dad, I like to listen to the AC/DC." And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, teaching you right.
It's not trending on TikTok, though, is it?
No. She does not have TikTok. Yeah. Yeah. Or Snapchat or any of that. Yeah.
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 Oh, it's funny because even I don't feel I'm starting to feel older. You
Yeah.
know, I'm only 24, but one of the guys I work with, he's not that much older than I am, and he's
Uh-huh.
talking about TikTok. He goes, "Yeah, this guy, I know, he lost his Tic Tac." And we're like, "His Tic Tac?" He's like, "Yeah, the app." We're like, "Oh yeah, we know exactly what you're talking about."
Yeah.
we're already mixing stuff up
Tic
at
Tac.
this age. It's like, oh man, when we're 50, it's gonna be a mess.
Could you? What is it gonna be like when we're 50?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Are we gonna be like the Jetsons?
I don't know if you got less fucks to get.
No,
the
I think
older
we're
you
gonna
get,
be
I'm in
more
big
like-
trouble.
I think we're gonna be more back to like cavemen.
Yeah.
We're due for a solar flare or something, dude. Honestly.
Dude, I saw something the other day that I couldn't help but laugh. It was 10 years ago, so 2011. In 2021, we're going to be driving flying cars.
Yeah.
And then it said in 2021, present day, I'm mad at the sexual orientation of this potato toy.
Yeah.
I was in tears over that one.
Well, I was just going to buy a plane ticket the other day, and you're going through filling out all the information, and you get to gender, and you click on the drop-down tab, and it's, whoops, we're sorry, but this is required. And it was male or female, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't have to apologize to me. It's funny, the other guy, we were buying plane tickets for work, and he goes, are they going to check me? Or I'm like, TSA just might.
Oh yeah.
We got one guy at our shop that writes fluid every time on the sheets just to fuck with everybody.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trades guys don't care, man.
Yeah.
We'll find a way.
That's funny. I got my TSA pre-check next week. I got to go through that whole process, so I can go hopefully get through lines quicker.
Right.
Yeah.
It is quicker.
Yeah.
I didn't have the pre-check. We just ended up in the wrong line,
Yeah.
and they let us go through. Dude, traveling with kids, it's so much quicker.
Oh yeah, we're flying to Florida here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
With the kids.
Yeah, we ended up wrongly in the pre-check line, and the guy's like, "Oh, you're good. Don't worry.
Nice.
Just come on through."
Awesome.
You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep that mental note of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I flew, I was flying with a bow case, and it was one of the taller SKB cases. And
Yeah.
I didn't even make it in the door of the airport, and someone stops me. And, is that a firearm? No, it's archery equipment. Okay, you're good. And
Really?
I felt like every 10 yards, someone was pulling me aside. Is that a firearm? No, it's archery equipment. Oh, okay. So I get up to go, I get my boarding pass and everything to go check the bag, and immediately someone comes up to me in line and goes, "Nope, you got to go over to special cases or whatever it's called. That's a firearm." And I look at the line, and there's no one in line. I'm like, "Oh, I'll mosey on over here." And they're like, "This is a firearm?" I'm like, "No, it's a bow." She's like, "Oh, you're good." Texans like, "This is awesome. You guys going hunting?" We're like, "Yeah, headed down to Texas for a couple days."
Yeah. That's
they're like,
nice.
"Well, good luck. Have fun."
Yeah.
And in Texas, same thing. There's signs up everywhere. It's, hunters, check your firearms. But in Detroit, it's...
Oh, yeah.
They were a little bit more checky on wanting to make sure everybody's good to go. I mean...
That's crazy, too, because Michigan,
it's
one of the higher hunter densities.
Right.
Can you imagine if you were in, California or something? How would you even deal with it?
Yeah. We have quite a few dealers out in California, and it's, people call in. It's, "Yeah, I'm calling for California," and it's like, man, I kind of feel bad for you guys, but they do a ton of hunting out there. I mean, their season opens early. Normally it's like late July, and it runs all the way through January.
That's crazy.
They love it out there.
Yeah.
They got crazy hours, though, right? You can't hunt.
There's some
Is
areas
in the
that
morning you can't hunt, or in the evening? There's one of them. They got some messed up hours.
I'm not sure on that.
Yeah.
I know PA's got some messed up laws, which looks like they're getting away from.
That Sunday
but
thing is
no
ridiculous.
Sunday hunting, and they have a quiet period.
Oh,
where
really?
When the bow season stops, I think there's a couple days between the bow season and the gun season you can't hunt. If I remember correctly. Yeah, and it's right around the 25th of November, 26th of November.
Huh.
Somewhere in there.
Right around
23rd.
Thanksgiving or whatever.
Yeah, and it's that's one of the better days to be in the woods. I mean, that's the days that some of the bigger deer get killed. And
That's crazy.
The Sunday thing would screw me. That's half my hunting time gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, you take a rutcation out there and you automatically lose 2 days, just gone.
Yeah. Oh, well, especially when you live the weekend warrior life, it's I'm a Saturday hunter. I hunt Saturdays. That's all I got,
Yep.
Even in Ohio, it threw me for a loop last year because when we were turkey hunting, you weren't really allowed to hunt till noon.
Till noon? Really?
Yeah. Oh, see, that's the kind
Yeah.
of
For
stuff I'm
turkeys,
talking
yeah.
about.
I know there's a bunch of. I didn't know Ohio was like that
Yeah,
though.
only up until a certain point when I was down there, it was during that period of time. But I think once you get later in the season, you can hunt longer. But like, I was like,
I think California has some laws like
like,
that.
ah,
Where it's,
There's a lot of states for turkey hunting at least where you can't hunt after.
Yeah,
noon.
Illinois.
it really,
I think.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I understand some of the philosophy behind it, like the birds got to go to nest, and the hens and giving them rest time and stuff like that. So I understand.
Yeah,
that.
just keeping.
Yeah.
It just takes pressure off.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Off
So I race.
reduces your bag limits.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
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 Man, I'm looking forward to turkey season.
So am I.
Oh
Huh.
my god,
I mean,
they're so much fun to hunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a blast.
yeah, yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
addictive.
I guess I'm gonna have to retry it, man. I never got the bug.
Really?
I've
It's-
always been. I'm a walleye guy, man. That time of year.
Oh, okay.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know when the trees are all budding,
Yep.
Yeah.
birds in the morning and stuff. The springtime in the woods is pretty freaking
Yeah,
it is.
pretty sweet.
It's a nice time to be on a boat too, though, 'cause you don't have all the assholes flying by and the power boats and
True.
shit. You know, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't have to listen to that guy ripping by with Van Halen just screaming out of the cassette player. Animal, bow, bow, bow.
If it's an 83, I don't think he's ripping very.
Limping.
Oh, she gets up and goes.
Yeah.
I'm
She's
sure
got
she
a 150 horse Merc on her.
did. You know what motors are out right now? For like if you were to go and buy a brand new outboard motor,
They're expensive as shit.
but the wait time,
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I believe it.
it's like 9 to 12 weeks before you can get a
That's-
motor.
Better.
That's like everything right now.
Yeah, I know. Like
I mean, we
it's-
take calls all the time, and someone will place an order for a bow, and it's they'll call her. My dealer told me 10 weeks. Like, is that for real? We're like, oh yeah, it's 10 weeks.
yeah.
My motto with boat motors is rather choke on smoke than drive a 4-stroke. So
Good.
Whop, 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 whop.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mitch's, I mean, because I do a lot of marketing for a company up in Northern Michigan, Saddle River Outfitters, and it is a struggle to get product. Not only are the manufacturers having a hard time producing the amount of quantity, but there's also the shipping issues that are going on right now. And what I mean by that is there is products physically sitting out in barges waiting to come into the shipping docks.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other problem is there's not enough shipping containers for product to come from China or wherever else because they're all sitting on I'm good. So like for any of the listeners, like if you're looking to get into the outdoors this year and want to buy a new kayak or whatever it may be, and places are sold out, it's because these people, I mean, everyone is buying a kayak, everyone is buying tubes, everyone is buying.
Right.
I mean, the buying checks are just coming in,
There's the
and
man.
they are just spending them.
Yeah.
But no, in all really, and I've talked about this before though. It is nice to see people get in the outdoors. I think
Absolutely.
one of the positives that have come out of COVID is the fluctuation of people getting into the outdoors.
Mhm.
Now there is some negatives to that because when you are hunting public land or fishing public land or fishing public water, whatever it may be, and that person's in your spot, you're like, they're in my spot, so it gets frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But it is nice, and the outdoor industry needed this in fluctuation.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
No, they're not all going to stick around.
No, but if there is a percentage that does,
Right. We needed that.
we
Yeah.
needed that
Mhm.
badly for
Yeah.
the camping, hunting,
yeah.
fishing, it all. It like
Yeah. You can see in the last couple months, too, as this quote unquote cancel culture grows legs. And I mean, they literally pulled like 4 or 6 Dr. Seuss books
Yeah.
off the shelf.
See, I heard the family did that. I'd read that the
No.
family had pulled
Well-
those books.
Activist groups put pressure on them
Yeah,
because they found the books offensive.
yeah.
I got 2 of the 4 Forbidden Seuss's too from Grandma gave them to me years ago. So if you want them,
some money.
Yeah, they probably are.
they were going for like $900 on the old Amazon there. So,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna sell them. I don't care.
That's your
enough to do
retirement
that.
plan. Don't sell those.
But
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean they're canceling things out. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tipping statues over.
the Teddy Roosevelt one was a rough one for me.
Yeah.
Oh, they tipped that one over.
They pulled it down.
Really?
Yeah, they tore it all up, and then the museum
Uh-huh.
actually bowed to the mob, and took it down, and said that it was time for a some type of update to move past this part in history or whatever.
Really?
Super disappointing. I'm like, Theodore Roosevelt?
Wow.
I'm like, really? And then I was like, oh man, I feel like there's like some big giant popular conservation group that I'm a part of that was their guy that they hung their hat on, and well, I wonder what they have to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They didn't have anything to say, and I was like, it's a little disappointing, you know?
Yeah.
You know, especially a week after Patagonia put a film out where they got some guy on there crying because people are quote unquote taking his land and changing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I hear you. I'm on your side.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pull my fucking statue down.
Right.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
but two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, where's the blowback on this one?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Silent.
Yeah.
Even after I wrote in, I'm like, hey, what do you think about what's going on? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, this is kind of like our mascot for our movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy literally crossed boundaries
Yeah.
and made instrumental strides in protecting our hunting heritage here in this country. And we're not even going to say we